Okay, today it's Saturday, March 23rd, 2019,
Right.
and our team just hit another milestone.
Yay!
And that's another $1 billion. So today, Julio, last night, as I received the
award.
that was from Remax, we actually just crossed another $1 billion worth of
Yay.
real estate transaction. Now that itself may be not a big deal. I'm sure there are many other companies who sold over $1 billion worth of real estate transaction. That is not what makes it unique. And the reason we are doing this video is because out of that $1 billion of real estate transaction, Julio, guess what? Not a single person in our team do any kind of prospecting, like zero.
That
No
is
cold
correct.
calling, no prospecting, no door knocking. I don't know what else. What else people normally do? I don't even know.
Calling, door knocking.
Making up flyers, advertising.
Right.
How long you been with the team, Julio?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. In the last 2.5 years, have you spent money on advertising, promotion, cold calling, door knocking? I don't know what, I don't even know.
Not a single penny. I haven't spent any money on advertising. I mean, this is a huge difference from what I used to do. Because in the past, I had to spend money on all of those things. And in addition, door knocking, cold calling, which I always didn't like.
And today I want to do a video, Julio, about the traditional brokerage model, because you own a traditional brokerage model before we
Right.
met, and we call this the real estate office of the future.
It is.
The real estate office of the future. So let's talk about it. And many people approach me, as you know, our Remax franchise comes to an end by the end of this year, right? So I get approached by many other brands, you know what I mean, asking us to move, right, and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking, I'm looking at every single one of the traditional brokerage model, every single one so far. If you have a different one, you let me know. But so far, I look at everything, including the one that claim to be these disruptors, this technology company. But if you look at the fundamentals of their business model, is taking people. When I say taking, I'm talking about, so if I run a traditional brokerage model, Julio,
Okay.
then our model, correct me if I'm wrong, because you are actually doing it before, right? In that traditional real estate brokerage model, is that we recruit real estate agents
Correct.
who are doing their own production. So each individual agent, from their own efforts, they do their own lead generation, they build their own business, right? They're taking 100% of the risk. So they're doing all that. So when we build the traditional model, all we are doing is we are taking a percentage of other people's efforts.
Correct.
Think about it, right? I mean, so that's why it's conflicted, because our core values, our mission here is to help you achieve your heart desires, is to elevate your life. How can I elevate your life if really, legitimately, all I'm doing is that I'm recruiting a bunch of agents who are successful, or who they're actually figuring out themselves on how they take 100% of their risk, and then basically I'm taking a percentage. It could be small because price is a factor in the absence of value, right? So in that model, there is no value. So I'm actually just landlord and tenant type of relationship.
Yes.
Right?
No, this is way different. I mean, before I always used to be worried about closing a transaction, as crazy as it might sound. You know what I was worried? Because now I will be unemployed, and I didn't know where the next transaction will be coming from.
Oh, you are worried about closing?
Yeah, because you know, it's exciting to close,
I see.
and at the same time, it was worry in the back of my mind, because I said, oh shoot, now I'm unemployed again, meaning I don't have a new transaction.
Right.
So excited on one side, worried on the other one. Right now, I don't need to be worried. I'm always excited. You know why? Because I know my next transaction is already happening, and I don't need to worry about my next appointments, because you're gonna be providing those appointments. So
Yes,
the only
yes.
thing I need to do is keep on performing,
Correct.
making sure these clients are satisfied
Correct.
to the highest level,
Correct.
because we don't always work for money. We're always looking for their customer reviews.
Because the money is automatic.
Exactly.
There is no way you cannot get.
Yeah, if I close, I mean, I know the check is coming.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'm expecting it, it's coming. I mean, as
Yeah,
soon as
there
I
is
close,
no humanly possible
Right.
you not get paid.
Right.
If you put the clients
It's
first,
already on the wheel and it keeps on turning.
Yeah.
So the next thing is the check is gonna be delivered.
correct. It's
So-
automatic.
And I don't
Yeah.
need to worry about my next transaction because it's already on the making.
Correct.
And the future transactions as well because I keep on getting new appointments every single time.
So the team system that we are talking about here, which we call it the real estate office of the future, is that the broker actually no longer can just be a landlord. And that's what's going on now. And that's why our team system here, we are on a mission to change how real estate industry works. The relationship between the brokers and the agent and the customers, because the traditional brokerage model, they are not in the business of buying and selling home. They're in the business of recruiting this agent, and the agent is in the business of buying and selling home.
That is correct.
So the broker are taking a percentage of the agent, but the agent are on their own. That's why they call it independent real estate agent.
Yeah.
So they actually mean it.
In the traditional real estate world, I mean, even though you're under a brokerage and they say they support you 100%, yeah, they support you with what? I mean, with
The
an
office space.
building, and that's it.
Yeah.
They give you a desk, but you are up to, I mean, you're still responsible for your own marketing, your own efforts, your own finding the clients yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's a completely total different model.
you're running your own business basically. It's
Right.
kind of like the relationship is kind of like a co-op. Co-op is like, I used to sell pens before. I used to sell like handcrafts before. So I didn't have the money to open up my own store. So what I did in Santa Monica, I think the place still around. So there's a co-op, meaning so me and 20 others business owners, we get together and we all just get a little space. It's exactly like that. So it's a relationship is kind of like a co-op. So the brokers is the guy who providing all the space, and then each independent agent, they run their own show, and it's independent of each other.
Right.
So they are responsible for their own lead generation, they're responsible for their own marketing, they're responsible for calling back all the leads, they're responsible to making sure each clients get the best quality of service. They're making sure they're responsible for all the paperwork. So one person juggling all the balls.
Everything. It's juggling all the balls, exactly. Versus the team approach is completely different. I only need to worry about my own performance and making sure of one thing.
Yes.
And the one thing is to make sure the customer is satisfied.
Correct.
Because I will get a nice review if I do a good job.
In your position, because
Right.
you are talking about as the outside sales team, right?
Correct. In my position.
Correct,
Right.
correct. Now, the way the team system, which I'm convinced will be the real estate office of the future model, is that the brokerage actually have a specific role in the home selling process. So, which means that so the way our team system works here is that we have our lead generation and advertising department, and our lead generation and advertising team focus on lead generate.
Yeah, and they do a great job because the list keeps on coming.
Keep on coming.
You're doing a great job. I mean, I'm not. Kidding.
From billboards, radio, direct mail. So those are done by one team, right? Our lead generation advertising team. The next one is our admin staff team. Our admin staff team is making sure that each one of those inquiries, from the billboards, from the radio, from the direct mail, from the newspapers, from the online, from the social, all those are being inputted into our database.
Right.
Now, from our admin staff team, then the next one is our inside sales team. Our inside sales team job is to make sure, check the timing and motivation. Just because somebody say, Julio, I'm thinking of buying my home, I'm thinking of selling my home, right? So we check the timing motivation to make sure the timing and motivation is now. When it's now, then we book it
And whenever you're working as a solo agent,
Yes.
that you just described the ISA work, which
Yes.
is checking time and motivation and keep on following up
Yes.
until they are ready, it's a really tedious process for the solo agent.
Well, the whole thing is tedious, right?
Yeah, so because you can only focus on so many things
Yes.
and just keep on following up with people that is not motivated, you eventually forget about them.
We
and
all have
you just
24
happen
hours.
to forget about them at the time that they are ready.
Yeah, that's
You should go one more phone call and you should have a deal. But most of us solo agents will tend to drop off those clients. So
Correct.
that's the way different approach working with the team system.
So the team system actually is exactly what the solo agent does. It's exactly the same as far as the model. The difference is that we have each individual person in the team be responsible for that specific task.
Correct.
So the difference between the traditional model is a generalization. Generalization means one person juggle all the balls, right? So juggle all the balls. This is my marketing, calling back the lead, booking all the appointments. I'm doing all by myself. The way the team system works is that one person, okay, all you do is to lead generate. This is all you do is responsible for radio. This is what you do. You are responsible to
follow
up. So we call it specialization.
Yes.
The key word here is specialization. Specialization is each person has a specific role in that transaction. So together, right? So first we have, I'm not sure if the video is gonna capture this, but if this is our lead generation advertising department, job is to generate the leads. Every month we have about 2,000 buyers and sellers calling in, thinking of buying and selling a home. The next one is our admin staff team, is to ensure that every inquiry has been inputted into our database. And then our inside sales team, making sure that the timing and motivation is now. Our outside sales team, making sure that we show homes every day, including homes that's not available online.
Correct.
And now because we have the time to do it.
Yeah.
And then the next one is our transaction coordinators department, is making sure that all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, because we are all in a highly compliance industry.
Yes.
Right. So we want to make sure.
Very important.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we have full time who's designated on that. The next team is our customer service team. We want to make sure that the clients are receiving the best, because at the end of the day, we are here to serve the clients.
Yes.
The customer is the one, the clients votes is the one, the clients is the boss. The clients can fire you and I at any time by simply spend the money somewhere else.
We all make sure of one thing, that the customer is satisfied.
Correct.
Everybody is just working for the client.
Yes.
That's a way different approach.
Right. So hopefully the visual, Julio, helps. Right. So we also, when the clients hire our team, they literally hire the whole system.
And by the way, they don't need to pay any extra money to have all these people servicing them.
Correct. It's because
it's the same. There is no extra pay from the client.
That leads to a different problem. The solo agent. That's why it's to me, I think it's a rip-off.
And that's why the team approach that we develop in here, I mean, it's completely different than the traditional way.
You, from your perspective, from the outside sales, from the agent perspective, you mentioned something interesting just now. You said that while you, in the past, when you are closing, you used to feel, what do you say? Worried. Because,
excitement and worried.
Yeah, you're excited, you know it's closing, you're gonna get paid, but at the same time, you're worried because, okay, what do I do tomorrow? Yeah. So think about it, Julio. From the agent perspective, you from the outside sales agent perspective, you can focus on delivering the best customer service ever without having to worry what's the next deal. Because as you are servicing these clients, guess what happened here?
The system keeps on working, so more leads are going to be fed to myself.
Correct.
Not only to me, but all the team members.
Correct.
I'm only talking about me.
Yes. Correct. But you can visualize that, right? So as you are closing, as you are servicing these clients, we are all preparing, we are all following up and stuff like that. What's the longest appointments that you get and close? The longest that our team has been following up, priming before they're ready?
I have closed clients that have been in the team database for over 2 years.
Wow.
And they finally ready to close, and I have been able to close some of them.
And you only joined the team?
If I was working as a solo agent, more than likely those clients will be forgotten.
Yeah, there's no way.
I mean, there's no way I can.
You barely able to remember 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah. So that again is completely different approach.
All right.
Having the team system, the ISA following up, for me, I don't need to worry about that. I only need to concentrate on whoever is ready to buy today.
So think about it. Let's use that as an example. So 2 years ago, you joined the team 2.5 years ago. That means, Julio, literally, when you first joined our team, you didn't even know what's going on, or you're still trying to figure out.
Right.
Guess what happened? Our advertising department already generated that one lead.
Yes.
Our ISA has been working with that lead. Think about it. This is crazy. As you first joined the team, you're still studying our system. You're still trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. While you are doing all that, 2 years ago, our lead generation department, our marketing department already generated the leads. We are already working with that leads, getting them ready, right? So 2 years from now, then bam.
Yep.
That's crazy.
No,
so
that's the beauty of it.
So it's as if I been working for you, Julio,
well,
long before I even met you.
As a matter of fact, you have.
Right? Think about it. So
this
this is
words. I mean, it's reality.
correct. So this is why we need to be careful on this. I'm speaking to real estate agents, Julio. This video is designed for real estate agents. As the real estate change, the real estate industry change. If you are a real estate agent, you keep on doing the same old stuff. Cold calling, door knocking, prospecting. When the market are shifting like what's going on now, there is no leverage in what you do. Because if you do cold calling, you do door knocking, you do prospecting, the ratio is 1-to-1. I can only cold call or door knock 1% at a time.
Right.
Today is information age.
Correct.
Who the heck? Only real estate industry I think still does that, because I don't think there's any other industry on the planet that's still doing that obsolete model of. But I can understand from the brokerage model. If I'm the broker, right? If I'm the real estate, Julio, you and I, maybe we can just open up a new brokerage. We open up a new brokerage, the traditional model.
Teach everybody to door knock.
Yeah. So we just recruit everybody. We give everybody a high split.
Keep them excited.
Right? Give everybody a high split and have the vendors to teach whatever.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, they are on their own anyway. Everybody is on a 95 split, right? And then we with 55%, we have nothing to lose. We are just paying the rent. The rent is paying the same, right? So of course the door knocking works, but works for who? For us. If we have 1,000 agents, everybody at 95% split, you and I, we're gonna make 5%, right? And then all we are preaching is that cold calling, door knocking, prospecting by the law of large numbers. Right. If I have 1,000 people running around town here, door knocking and cold calling, of course,
you're gonna get some deals.
Of course, it's gonna go good for us. But as the broker, but for each individual agent, the question is that a good use of your time?
Yeah, not in this technology advancing type of system that we have now. And especially now that the market is shifting, all the agents that are watching this, I mean, they should be thinking, what am I going to do differently? Because the market is shifting. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but the market is truly shifting. If you continue to do the same thing, don't be surprised if you end up just going back to a normal job.
And it doesn't have to be like that.
Are you willing to take that step, or are you willing to make some change? And if you're willing to make some change, well, take a look of what Rudy here is offering, which is the team system, the team approach. So
the team approach, actually, I work for you.
Me, I'm a live testimonial. The team approach.
Hey, tell your story. Maybe
the team approach.
Maybe I should begin with your story.
No, I mean the true story is I was, as a solo agent, like I said, I was doing everything that every single agent does. Generating leads, door knocking, cold calling, I mean, you name it, everything out there. The problem is it's only 24 hours on a day, and you, one guy, can only do so many things. And that's why I look at this team system. When I was introduced to it, I mean, every single different angle that I look at it, it made sense. So to me, it was, I mean, I didn't have to think hard about knowing and acknowledging that the team system really benefits me.
At the end of the day, what's the result?
Benefits.
What's the result?
The company. The result is that
how many transactions?
2.5 years have been great. I mean, I haven't.
In the last 90 days, how many transactions?
Well, last year probably I closed about 24 deals.
So you average about two transactions in a month.
Transactions a month, which is great. I mean, it's working as a solo agent. That's really, really hard to accomplish. Some of the people might do accomplish that, but I don't know. I mean, to me, I still have free time for me and my family.
I don't
need to worry about, like I said.
How many grandkids you have?
I have one grandkid.
Oh, okay.
So that's great.
Last time I met you, your family came to a Christmas party. Who are those?
My wife and my 2 daughters and my grandkid. So that's, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. If you guys are thinking of making a change, well, take a look at the team system, because it will. You will be impressed and you will love the team system. Okay,
so going back to where we started today, Julio, the reason we are doing this video is because our team system model has break another $1 billion worth of real estate transaction. That means so far, over $2 billion, Julio, of real estate
It's
transactions.
a lot of real estate.
And not a single person. So, see, I'm sure, I can guarantee you, Julio, there's many other companies who sell more than $2 billion for, so I don't want it to sound like
but without having to cold call.
Correct.
No door knocking.
Correct. So this is, I challenge you, if you're a real estate agent or broker watching this video, comments below. If you know of any other companies or team that sold more than $2 billion and not a single person, zero.
You know, the
prospecting.
only thing I do now is
Yes.
to get to know when I'm gonna be meeting with a new client.
Yes.
The only thing I need to do now is just look at my calendar, because you guys, I mean the ISAs will book the appointments on my cell phone.
Yeah.
All I need to do is, okay, what if my day looks like today? I just go to my calendar and I know exactly what I need to do.
And if you
I
wanna
don't need to worry about cold calling anybody or doing anything.
And if you want to spend time with your families, then you just block off your calendar.
And if I need a day off, I just block off my calendar so nobody gives you any appointment.
But
So that's
you don't want that.
to me,
No more
it's
listing appointment for me. Too many listing appointments. But Julio, to be fair though, I don't.
Well, luckily I'm a full time, so I'm available most of the time. But if I need to take off, I just block out my calendar.
Yes,
That's
yes.
simple
The team
as that.
system model only full time. But Julio, on that, but in exchange of not doing any cold calling, prospecting, door knocking, we expect training. Can you talk more about training system?
Well, in exchange, what am I responsible for?
Correct.
Well, more than anything, be a full time. Show up to trainings, which is 3 times a week. Tuesday, 12 to 1. Wednesday, 9 to 11. And Thursday, 10 to 12. And that's it. Other than that, I mean, I can just devote all the time to concentrate in one thing and one thing only, which is making sure all my clients are well taken care of.
Yes.
They are satisfied, because I want to keep on performing, so I can get more appointments and more appointments.
Yeah, not only that though, right?
When everybody benefits,
Correct.
when I perform right, everybody benefits.
Correct.
The company, myself, my clients.
Yeah.
Again, the most important person in the whole transaction is the client.
It's the clients, because so this is, I don't want it to sound like this is not just making you feel good.
And by the way, we say clients first.
Correct. It's the clients, because the clients can choose at any time.
Yes.
We are not entitled to their business.
Correct.
We are not entitled to their income. So the only way, the clients is the boss. The clients can fire you and I and everybody here by
any
simply spend the money somewhere else. That's it.
Correct.
So the only way for us to continue delivering a 5-star service is through being different and exclusive. Can you share something that, because right now the traditional model, Julio, they are teaching real estate agents to email homes to the buyers. And the problem with that, as technology becoming more advanced, the moment the listing hit the MLS, it gets syndicated to end user website. So if the agent are emailing homes to the buyers, homes that the buyers themselves already seen,
The buyer already seen it.
like there is no value in that transaction. So what do we do differently?
Well, we are able to show properties that are not available online. I think we are the only company that does that.
But how are we able to do that? Because it sounds too good to be true, right? So if I'm the buyers, Julio, looking to buy a home in Pasadena, between 700,000 to 800,000, how are you able to show homes for sale by owners, homes that's previously listed, expired, cancelled, withdrawn, new homes, new contract? No one else doing it because it sounds too good to be true. You are the only one.
Team system, and I don't need to waste my time on prospecting or cold calling. I can only concentrate on what my client needs and wants. Once I know that, then my job is to find the home, even if it's not currently listed. I will look for that. I will look for sale by owners.
How do you get paid? How do you get paid? Because I think the reason most real estate agent, Julio, they're only showing homes that's on the MLS because that's how they get paid.
With the team, once part of the training is you learn how to get paid, even with properties for sale by owners.
Correct.
Even with property expired listings.
So I want to make
you
sure
will find a way, and you will be taught how to get paid. So you don't need to worry about how much is offered on the MLS.
Correct.
We already have the system to get you paid. So And again, for that you need to plug into the team system.
Correct.
To learn how.
Once you know how to negotiate your own buyer broker fees, now the whole inventory opens up.
Yes.
Right? I remember when I first get my license, Julio, back in 2007, I remember real estate agents are saying, hey, you wish the agents showing all homes that's on the MLS, but the truth is the agents are only, they pick and choose homes where to show, depending on the commission. And I think the reason because hopefully you're not the only way, I think, because they don't know how to negotiate their own fees.
Because they don't know how to negotiate their fees, so therefore they just need to make sure that they show the homes that a high commission offer on the other.
Now every time the agent
I don't need to worry about that. I already know how to get paid.
Because not because we are working for free, because we know how to negotiate our own fees. Now, and this is going to be the last thing we're going to touch today. And the reason, because we thought the team model, the traditional model, because most of the training, if you go to all real estate training that's available out there, 9 out of 10 is basically, it's a prospecting class.
Yes.
Prospecting marketing class. Now, can you imagine if you're a doctor, you're a brain surgeon, and 9 out of 10 of your training in how to look for patient? I would be worried. I don't want to be your patient. Right? But the truth is, that's what's going on in the industry today. Majority of classes that's being taught in our industry is on prospecting. Versus here in our team model, in our team system, because the real estate agent in the team, they don't need to do any prospecting because it's been done by a different department. Then that's how, for us, is 100% of all of our training is focused on negotiation. What else?
Well, negotiating and finding the right home for the client. Again, we follow the instruction for the client. I'm not gonna sell the house that I like. I mean, I need to make sure that's what my client wants and needs. All
right, so we're gonna end with this. If I'm inviting you for a private backstage tour of our team, we had a quick conversation. Obviously, this is not a comprehensive. Julio got to go for an appointment, so this is just a quick conversation between the traditional real estate brokerage model versus the real estate office of the future system that I believe that that's basically what the industry needs to change as we are facing this disruption in the industry. The only way, because if the machine can do what you do, then you'll be in trouble. So as an industry, the only way for you to still adding value in that transaction, then you have to bring in that element of that teamwork, that caring, and those won't be happen because if you focus 100%, 70-80% of your time simply looking for a backstage tour of our team, all you need to do, call 626-789-0159. Again, for a private backstage tour of our team, so you can see how we are able to negotiate getting over $2 billion worth of real estate transactions sold, and not a single person in my team here, not one person in our team do any prospecting, cold calling, door knocking, advertising, none of those stuff. Zero. If you are curious on how is that even possible, and we've been doing it for the past 10 years, right? How are we able to, in the last 10 years, over $2 billion worth of real estate transaction, over 5,000 transaction able to do it with absolutely zero cold calling? If you are curious, I'm inviting you for a private backstage. Call 626-789-0159. Any last closing thoughts?
No, all the agents out there watching this, if you're truly serious about making 2019 your best year ever for you and your family, just call the number 626-799-0159.
All right.